This is Adventure for Life. I'm Joel. Again, today's going to be another relatively quick video. I mentioned this last week and I wanted to give you a little bit more details and then just talk some about what my future plans are with the car and with the video, the content that I'm planning on making. Again, next week I am going to Troy, North Carolina, and we'll be going to the Overland Experts facility there. And I'll provide more detail at that point. But Overland Experts, you should look them up on the internet. They are the guys, again, that when we did the off-road portion of the driving day, the pre-production cars, and we did it just north of Atlanta. I don't remember the town, at an off-road park. And many of y'all did the same thing. The guys that were with us driving the vehicles, or actually we were driving, that were riding along with us, were from a company called Overland Experts. And their main facility, I believe, is in Connecticut. And then they have this other facility in North Carolina. They may have one in Colorado or Utah, I really don't remember. And they offer training they train military people, they train civilians. Obviously I'm civilian. And mostly on Jeeps, I assume, but people bring their own vehicles. And so they know the Grenadier fairly well. I talked to them a couple days ago just to reconfirm when I'm going to be there. And they actually said that, typically I'm going by myself. Typically there'd be just one trainer, but they said there are going to be 3 guys that participate in the training, because this is going to be their first Grenadier training session one-on-one. So they've spent some time in the cars before, but those were pre-production cars, and this is a production car. And so they're excited about it. And so I'm looking forward to that. And, I'm going to learn something about the vehicle itself, but I'm also going to learn some things about just off-roading in general that I don't know. I've mentioned before, I went with a friend of mine in a, I would say medium modified Jeep to Moab on 3 different occasions to the Easter Jeep Safari. He had a great time, and he had a Atlas axle, Atlas transfer case. It was lifted, it was stretched in the front. He had air locking front and rear differentials, onboard compressor, quite a few things done to his Jeep. It was really nice. I think he was on 33s maybe. And, so the Jeep had a lot of capability, and we were able to do some relatively, tough stuff, although we were there to have fun, not to kill ourselves and not to tear his equipment up. I've also been to Moab on 3 occasions on side-by-sides. And, so my knowledge of off-roading comes from those experiences, and that's it. I did the content with the BDRs, with the backcountry discovery routes, but that was on a motorcycle. So anyway, I think they're going to teach me, a fair amount just about off-roading in general. One of the things I'm planning on doing is picking their brains about what kind of accessories I should buy, what brand of refrigerator, those kinds of things. And obviously I can look on the internet and find other people's opinion, but these guys are supposedly experts and have a lot of experience, so I'm going to certainly pick their brains. So I'm guessing there'll be 2 or 3 or 4 weeks worth of content that come from that, because I'm going to be there for 2 days. The first day is really just driving the car, and then the second day is recovery training. When you get stuck in sand or mud or, whatever, how do you get out of it? And of course this vehicle's got a winch on it, so we'll be using the winch some. But anyway, so that's what the training is. Then my big deal for this year, my big section of content or trip is going to be, I'm going to take this Grenadier and I'm going to drive it, and I'm outside of Atlanta. I'm going to drive it down to Key West, just like I did with the Cutlass. When I took the Cutlass from the northeast corner of the U.S. In Maine and drove it down to San Diego, I'm going to drive this Grenadier from Key West to Dead Horse, Alaska. And obviously be a longer trip. It's going to be for fun, but it's also going to be, to kind of try the vehicle out. I'll end up putting 15, 20,000, probably 20,000 miles on the vehicle when it's all said and done. And hopefully by then I'll have all my accessories. Hopefully I'll have all my accessories a lot sooner than that. I'm going to have the car top carrier. I'm going to probably tent camp half the nights and be in a hotel half the nights or whatever. But anyway, that's the content that I plan on making, and I'm looking forward to doing it. I hope you guys are looking forward to watching. And again, I appreciate you guys coming along. This is all fun for me, and if anybody else gets some value out of it or some interest out of it, that's all the better. I do appreciate the people that have subscribed. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that if you will. And again, thanks. I appreciate you guys coming along. And next week should be from Troy, North Carolina at the Overland Experts facility. And then the next few weeks, just some information that I learned and gathered from there. Thanks, and see you next week.